And now let's take a closer look at the glacial melt in the Chilean mountains. As we just heard, the retreat is faster now than at any time on record. It was actually 50% faster in the 20 years between 1990 and 2020 than it was between 1956 and 1990. Well, take the Lahugo #2 glacier as an example. The approximate temperature rise in the area since measurements were first taken in the 1950s has been about 1.5 degrees Celsius. In that time, the 20 square kilometer glacier has shrunk by about 7%. Now, scientists predicted that Chilean mountains glaciers may disappear by 2050. And let's talk more about this, and let me bring in our guest on the line, Mr. Ma Jun. He's director of the Institute of Public and Environmental Affairs. Thank you so much for joining us on China 24, Mr. Ma. As we heard just now, there's been some extraordinary glacial melt in the Chilean mountain range in the past 20 or 30 years, and experts have called it a shocking rate. Just how serious is the situation, both for the region and the world in general?
Yeah, I think it's quite serious. As the there are all these different reasons behind the glaciers melting. Sometimes it's complicated, but inappropriate human activities such as the emission of black carbon and of course the human-induced climate change has been considered as the major reason. I mean, as the glaciers are a major source of fresh water supply, especially in many dry regions like Hexi corridor, like Xinjiang, and like Central Asia is large. In the short run, as the reporter pointed out, reported in this regions actually receive more supply, but over the long run, there are risks of a sudden reduction of water supply as the glaciers disappear. This may impact the livelihood and farming and production of hundreds of millions.
Yeah, we were also looking at shocking pictures of how the area has been shrinking over the years. Now, what measures do you think China could take to deal with this worrying rate of glacial melt?
Yeah, first what we can do is to take local actions to protect the ecosystem like forests, like grasslands and wetlands, and to reduce the industrial emission locally. But fundamentally, as pointed out by the scientists, we shall work with other countries and regions to reduce greenhouse gas emission. If we can limit the global warming within 1.5 degrees Celsius, we can prevent the majority of glaciers from disappearing. So far, our carbon emission is over 10 billion tons a year, or 30% of the global total, and it's still increasing. That's why the carbon neutrality commitment made by President Xi at UN is considered to be the most strategic, as it will accelerate the global risk to zero carbon emission and to prevent the climate change, and that will save the glaciers eventually.
All right. Thank you so much for your analysis, Mr. Ma Jun.
Thank you.